Hi everyone! In this video we are gonna finally convert our curves to hair cards. So for this I want to show you very quick this software. You don't need it right now because I'm gonna be providing these textures. So this is the texture for our hair cards, and here you can see the different all the maps that we are gonna be generating. So yeah, as I said, this software it's called Fibershop. And it's not free, you have to pay it. It's not very expensive, but well, I will leave the link in the description if you are interested, but as I said, you're gonna get all of those textures. So let's jump into Blender. I'm gonna close this so we are not like using resources from the computer. Let's jump into Blender, and here it's well, the hair where we left it. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is we don't need that. I'm gonna come to the interpolation, and let's say maybe we are gonna reduce it to half of it. So let's do this because I'm reducing the density, because every strand that you see here, it's gonna be a hair card. So obviously hair cards are gonna be, the width is bigger, so it's gonna be covering more scalp. Then we don't really need so much density. I hope that makes sense, but otherwise we'll see it in a moment. The only thing I'm gonna leave a little bit kind of the same density is the short hair, because short hair is usually it's hard to do because you need a lot of hair cards to cover. So by the moment I'm gonna leave it like this, and then we'll see. I mean, making hair, it's a lot of trial and error, so it's not just a straight path. You have to try different things, and even with the textures that I showed you before, probably we're gonna have to make adjustments once the textures are in place. So yeah, just to let you know that it's not just like follow these steps and it's done. It's usually a lot of back and forth. Okay. So let's convert this to a mesh. So I'm gonna select both. I'm gonna well, this is my quick access, but we can come here, and then it's convert, and we want that to convert to a mesh. So by doing that, all our modifiers are applied, and we get this back to the really thin hair, and this is actually a mesh. So now I can join this, because this is gonna be, it's gonna go together. Or maybe let's leave it separately, because maybe I want to make some adjustments. For example here, maybe, you know, now it's probably the perfect moment to kind of delete or remove those ones that we don't really, you know, that selecting a little bit some vertices here, then Ctrl L to select the whole object, and then X to remove. And as I said, the front part should be the one that it's more like requires more like manual work. So here I'm just removing some of the hair strands that are like very short, because we are not gonna even see them. Just a little bit of cleaning, and then we can, I mean, this hair looks a little bit out of place. So now, yeah, I think that's working better. Okay, so maybe we can just focus on one part, and then from there we can see. So here the process is, so this is a mesh now. I'm gonna create a node a new geometry node to be able to work with it, and I'm gonna do it step by step. It's very simple, and then you'll have it, so you can just do what I'm doing step by step, or if you download the blend file, you'll be able to append it, or just to use the geometry node. I'll show you, because once it's created, then we can reuse it. So let's create a new one. We are gonna call it resample curve. Let's see, frame all. Oh, here, I lost my inputs. So what we want to do is, I'm gonna do Shift A, and I want to convert this, its mesh to curve. Then we want to resample the curve. So Shift A, resample curve. I'm doing this for two reasons. One, so we can obviously convert the mesh to a curve, and then we want to optimize the curve so it doesn't have like tons of vertices. So I'm gonna put, I think 8, it's good. And then by resampling all the curves with 8, or whatever number you want, that's the number of vertices, we are unifying our curve, meaning that once we convert it to a card, it's gonna, all the cards are gonna have the same number of vertices. So from here, what I can do, it's I can set a radius. Here I'm gonna be playing a little bit. Maybe there are some stuff that I'm not gonna be using. So let's see. Radius, let's say it's 75. Okay, so after the resample curve, we are gonna convert that back to a mesh. So it's curve to mesh. And then the profile curve that we want, it's we can do different ones. Let's try, if I do here, and I do curve primitives, and we do curve circle, that can come to the profile. And then what I want to do before doing that, it's the resample, profile. Okay, like here, let's do set radius, set curve radius, and that's gonna, what it's gonna do, it's what we want to do is to have like the hair at on the tip thinner than the root. So to do that, let me look for spline parameter. Okay, spline parameter. Then we want to get the factor, put it in a color ramp, and this is gonna, what it's doing, it's taking the length or the factor of our splines, and then it's gonna scale it. Okay, so if I do the color to the radius, we have, this is gonna be huge, so probably we can reduce the diameter here of the profile. Let's do 0.1. And as you can see here, the tip, I mean the root is very thin and the tip is very wide or very big, no? So we need to invert our color ramp, and then you can see what's happening. And then, for example, this is still too big. We can come here. Maybe that's something like this. And then the tip, if you want it thicker, do something like this probably. Map range, yeah, looks like it's a map range. Vector, float. So the color goes to the value, result. Here I'm doing this because what I want to do is I want the minimum instead of being 0, because I want some thickness at the tip. If I do, for example, 4, oh no, sorry, it's from, that's the values, and then I want, okay. So you can play with all of that. So we don't have like, you know, maybe a little bit thinner here, 45 or 35. And then let's go back, because now I'm thinking all of those are gonna be like, you know, that's gonna be a texture. And the other thing I want to do is to reduce the resolution here. With 32 it's too much, maybe we want 8. Because remember, this is gonna be mesh, so we want to be a little bit, we want to have it optimized as we can. So now that this is done, we can just reapply it to the other groups. And what I'm gonna do, usually, let's see, because I'm doing all of that on the go, I didn't try it. If I apply this, we should have a mesh now. Let me see if I can, if we do visibility, viewport display, and I do wireframe, yeah, that looks kind of okay. Let's apply it. I know this is a bit destructive, but yeah, let's apply it and we'll see. Apply. So now that it is a mesh, and the good thing is the long ones and the short ones are exactly the same. So this approach is for those ones that want to do haircuts almost using like everything for free. I'm gonna do another approach where instead of doing all of this, we are gonna just jump into Hair Tool, and you'll see the difference and what's the advantages of using that amazing add-on. But right now we are doing like everything in life, no? Everything that is free always requires a little bit more work. So I'm just cleaning the short hairs that I know I'm not gonna like. Actually, those went weirdly like inside, but yeah, okay. I think that's good. And then I'm gonna select, well, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna do P, and then here we want to separate by loose parts. That's gonna create, that is gonna separate all the meshes, all the strands in different objects. And then I'm gonna press M, a new collection, so everything gets kind of organized. And this is hair front. Okay. And here you can do select objects, and you select the whole collection. And then what I want to do is to unparent it from the scalp. So I'm gonna do Alt P, and then clear and keep transform. Yeah, clear and keep transformation. So now they are unparented from the scalp. Next step, we can select one, and it's important to know which one. So, for example, let's select this one. And I'm gonna jump into edit mode, and I'm gonna unwrap it. And maybe we can do something like this. Then let's jump into the UV editing. Let's open one of the hair textures. I like to work with the alpha, because that's the one that, even if it doesn't have the color, it has the transparency, so it's easy to work with. Okay, so now what I want to do is unwrap it. And then we have these like very ugly UVs, but what we want to do is to convert it on like perfectly squares. And for that, what I'm gonna do is select these vertices, and I'm gonna do S, Y, 0, oops, no, sorry, it's S, Y, X, 0. Then I'm gonna do the same here, S, X, 0. So by doing that, what I'm doing is I'm aligning the vertices. So now, yeah, S, Y, 0, and S, Y, 0. And then I'm gonna try to make it a little bit more like square. And then I'm gonna take this as a reference. So I select the face, then I press L to select everything, and you can see the face is highlighted. And then here we can come and say follow, usually it's called, yeah, follow active quads. Let's try length average or even, no, even. Okay, so now we have our hair card. That's our hair card, the UVs for the hair card. And here I'm gonna do exactly the same. Come to the vertices, and then you can do S, X0, SX0, SY0, and SY0. And again, I'm gonna try to move it and make it a little bit more square. Then we select the face, L to select the whole thing, the whole model or the whole object, and back here, follow active quads. Okay. Okay. So now that we have it unwrapped, I have this one selected. I'm gonna select all objects, and I'm gonna do, it's gonna create a material. Let's call it hair, or let's call it hair front. Okay. Let's come here. I'm gonna split my screen for a second. Then shader editor, and this is just for preview. Let's say Shift A, texture, image texture, and let me see. We want. Oh, they change, oh, the alpha. Okay, so the color goes to the alpha. And the alpha is not going to the alpha because this is the alpha map. If we had the textures packed, for example, like Unreal does, we could use the alpha. But here we are using already the map for the alpha, so that's why I'm using the color. And then here we want to use for preview, instead of opaque, let's do alpha hash and alpha hash. So usually it would come here. Okay, so this is the material. This is just for preview. I'm gonna go back to layout. We are in layout actually. We can join this now. And because everything is selected, I'm gonna do Control L. I'm gonna do link materials. And what we want to do is, because all of those have the same amount of vertices, that's why we did the resample. Now we can just transfer the UVs, copy UV maps. So now, if I go back to the UV editing, and now what I'm gonna do, select this, and now let's see, sometimes when we unwrap, let's do the sync so I can see, okay, so that's the top, we have to invert it, LL. So I press R to rotate, Y 180. So now we should have the root on top. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna select all of that and all of that. And now we can place it here. Same here. And now we could, do the same. And then if you want to introduce more variation, you could even do something more crazy, like something like this or whatever you want. Or use this one that it's thinner. But right now I want to have more coverage. But we are going to be checking, trying, and see what works better. So again, now let's go here, and we can see the only one that it's looking good is this one, because I have to update again. So let's do here, select all objects, then Control L, and then copy UV maps again. Okay, so here we can see our hair, and now it's when we can kind of test. I mean, this one, maybe it's too thick, no? Maybe it's too much. Let me see, let's do here. And then let's move it to the one that it's less layout. Okay, yeah, that looks probably better. And then let's select this one, select all the objects, and then Control L and copy UV maps. Okay, so I think this is starting to look a little better. What we can do, it's for example, let me select one, vertical split, and then if we want to give some color very quickly, so it's not like white, shader editor, we could come here. Let me see, let's duplicate this one. Usually there is a good map that it's root, because root gives you, we can use the root as a color ramp. I mean, you get the point. It's more about the preview. This is not even a hair shader, so it doesn't really. And I'm trying to be very conservative with the number of vertices. But for example, if you were, because this is going to be so low. Let's see the statistics. Select. So we have 5,000 faces only. And now, if you want, we can even join all of that. So if you want, because let's say, imagine that you want to render it, we can even add generate subdivision. So the hair looks a little bit better. So you can see still the hair edges here. So you could even make it smoother. So I'm gonna repeat this process Now for our top. Let's see if we remember. So the first thing is to now, because we already have our geometry nodes, I can just come here and add a geometry node and then look for what's the resample curve. And another thing I want to do is I'm gonna click. Oh, no, not that. I want to click on the shield, so even if I don't use it, it stays on the file. Okay, so that let's hopefully looks as we want it, and then I'm gonna convert this so I can apply my geometry node, apply. And now, what I can do, it's the same thing. I'm gonna unparent, then I'm gonna create a new collection, and this is gonna be hair top. Let's move the hair top here. Then let's select one. Yeah, let's separate by loose parts. And here maybe we have, let me see how much geometry we have here. This is a lot, 92,000. So that means that we should probably go back to our save version and try to reduce the density. This is too much. I mean, we can do it, but I mean, I want to be, if you're using that for a game, this is too much. So what I'm gonna do, let me open a new instance. And this one, that's why it's good that we did we save a backup. So I'm gonna come here to the interpolation, and we are gonna, in the interpolation, 20. So when we were at 10, maybe let's do 15. Then convert it to mesh. I'm gonna do the unparent, so I'm not bringing a lot of stuff. Control C, jump to my other instance, Control V, and then apply. Let's apply our geometry nodes and resample. Okay, I think that looks better. I think that's good. We are 26,000. Afterwards, I'm going to show you another method that we can, I mean, it's not another method, but it's a way that we can optimize it further. But let's say that's good. And before I proceed, let me close this. And I don't want to save. I don't want to ruin my backup. Then let's apply the geometry nodes. Then I'm gonna separate all of them. And here I just gonna need one. I'm gonna separate one. Selection. And then what I'm gonna do is come here, do select all the objects, and then select my only one here. Then I'm gonna do Control L, copy UV maps, and Control L, link materials. And here we can see like maybe the density. We can leave it like this. Usually you want to texture the scalp, or as I'm gonna try, we are gonna bake our hair on the scalp, so we have all of this hair as a texture. Here instead we can just go to here, convert to a mesh. So now our geometry nodes are applied. I'm gonna do Alt P to clear and keep transformation. And what I'm gonna do here, create another new collection. This is hair sides. And move that here. And now I'm gonna apply our geometry nodes, our sample. And what I wanted to do, it's because this hair here is shorter, we don't need so many, the sample can be smaller. So what I'm gonna do, it's gonna create a, let's see if I'm able to do that without Googling, because I haven't been working with geometry nodes for a long time, and so I noticed some things change, but what I want to do is to convert this count on a variable. Let me see if I can do this. No, it doesn't let me. Okay. So here I think it's on node, or it's on group. Okay, group. We want to geometry. Can I add input? And this is gonna be, it's not a so, it's let's see its count. Yes, that's a float, no, that's an integer. And description, what else? Modifier. Can I move this? Yeah, socket. This is gonna be vertex count. And the vertex count now can go here. And by default it's 8. Oh, vertex count here. Let me see. Description. Oh, here. Default. I don't know why I put it here. Oh, that's okay. Never mind. We are gonna do here default 8. And for the short hair, instead of 8, obviously, what I'm gonna do is I want, like, let's do 4. So now our geometry nodes has this variable, so we can adjust it depending on the hair. So I'm doing this because I want less vertex. So I can do apply. Like here, we could try to go back to the density, and maybe we don't need that much density. Okay, so here we are back. I just reduced the density to half because when I reduced it more, I thought it was too much. So let's see. Adding the geometry nodes, the resample, and here we want the vertex to 4. So yeah, we're at half, and then because most of them it's gonna be removed because we are not gonna need it, hopefully we can get this a little bit down. Okay, so let's apply the geometry nodes. I'm gonna separate. And then I want to select one, maybe this one. And we are gonna do the same. I mean, actually, I can do select. No, this one, we have to redo it because you know what? Because we reduced the curve from 8 vertices to 4, so I cannot copy the UVs. Selection, I did U, M to assign or mark the seam. Then UV editing. Hey, let's unwrap. And here we are going to be doing exactly the same. I'm going to do R, Y, 90, okay, minus 90. So it's R, Y, 180. So the roots are on top and tips are at the bottom. Then let's select this one, SX0, SX0, exactly the same that we did before, SY0 and SY0. Same here, SX0, SX0, SY0 and SY0. Then let's select this one, L, UV unwrap, and then you need to do follow active quads, even, okay? And then if by any reason when you select something here, it's not selected here, means that you need to enable this sync option, sync selection. Because sometimes it's not selected, so. And now, because we are doing shorter hair, we can try, let's try L. I'm gonna move it, so I'm moving both at the same time. And then we can try with this one, for example. Another thing we need to do, it's we need to assign the material. So I'm gonna select all of those, select objects, then we can select, for example, this one, Control L, and we link materials. So now I can come back, what's this one? Let me top and front, yeah. Then with let's call it our sample selected. Let me see something. Okay, so with the sample selected, I select all our hair again, and then we can copy the UV maps. Select objects. Select objects now. Let's try the other one. The other, and that's why for me it's very interesting or very good to use the hair tool, because instead of having to do here all of that manual, the hair tool allows you to just change the UVs like just clicking. Like with one click, it's all changed. You can combine different, add random, randomness. It's like very useful, but yeah, you have to pay it. So when you don't pay stuff, usually you have to work a little bit harder. Okay, so let's go to the UVs, and then we can try this one. And jump to layout again. Let's see, select objects, Control L, and then copy UV maps. Yeah, I think that works a little better. Yeah, we have some like bold spots here. So I'm gonna leave the video here because I want to see if we can try to do the scalp, because the scalp is gonna solve a lot of issues, especially with the bold spots. But let's join all of these meshes, because now we can just do that. Select objects, then Control J. Yeah, usually. Okay, let me see. It did it. Okay, and hair top. I'm gonna do the same. Select objects, Control J. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the video here. See you soon.